as Kiran More was saying, is the toss already a big advantage for India?
Well, I think, conventionally in T20 games, people or teams try to, captains prefer to chase because they have a target in front of them. They have better understanding of how the pitch is playing and the outfield is. So in that sense, I think it seems to be the correct decision. Whether it's the most decisive influence in the match, we'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kiran, you did answer my question last time around. I think I asked you exactly who's going to win today. So who's your money on? I have to let you go. So just let me know.
Of course, India. I want India to win, and I've always believed that. That's the way I played my cricket. I wanted to win match all the time. And Rohit is a guy who will never give up. He wants to win the match, and all of them, those who have gone there on the tour, I think they want to win the match for India, especially against Pakistan. No matter what happens with other teams.
All right, Kiran More, I do appreciate you joining us. We are towards the final few minutes. The toss has happened. India has elected to bowl first, as many experts were saying, because there is a due factor. The pitch is doing a little bit in the first innings, and as Shishir was saying, it gives you a little bit of time to settle down. I ask your thoughts once again. Now that we have the toss, we have the team updates also coming in. Your final pick.
For the winner of this match, I think the toss has favored India, and that's a good start. I think that what we saw in the Afghanistan-Sri Lanka game, if there are early blows struck by the Indian fast bowlers or Indian bowlers, then I think the idea is to take a good hold on the game, firm grip on the game from the very beginning. Pakistan also has a very strong team. They've got some really stellar players, so you can't let them get away to a big score and then try and chase it, because that could be worrying. It's a high pressure game, and as we know, the psychological advantage from the last World Cup rests with Pakistan still.
There is also another thing, Shishir, that I wanted to ask you. Most of the time when India-Pakistan matches happen, we were quite sure that, unless something brilliant comes in from a Pakistani, and they did have a lot of brilliant players, of course, we were not going to suffer too much, because the unpredictability of the Pakistani team was something that everybody else could rely upon, as I was asking Kiran earlier. Do you think that under Babar Azam, that unpredictability has reduced, and now you can never really say that Pakistan will crumble as they used to, or are they still too top heavy and that could be their Achilles heel?
You make a very good point. They were when they were good, they were very good, and when they're bad, they were horrible at times. They were ridiculous at times and sublime at times. I think that that has changed over a period of time. They're having their good and bad games, but they're not, really going off the track in terms of performance, and that's good for their team, their morale of the team, and of course understanding that they can create good performances if they play good cricket throughout, a season. The point is, under Babar Azam, very important, because he himself is their best player, and his wicket and his dismissal is so crucial to India, because we've all seen that he can control a game and put the pressure on the opposition with the way he bats. So one of the, I mean, you can forget the past, as they say. Yesterday was history, tomorrow is mystery. What's important is being in the moment. All cliched, I know, but it's important to do so, because even if you bowl first, you need to seize the advantage and make sure that you pick up those early wickets. And if you can get Babar Azam in the process, then you obviously have control over the game.
Yes, and I think Babar Azam has said that he would have bowled first too. So I think when it comes to Dubai and under these circumstances and conditions, it's quite clear what the side winning the toss is going to do. So I asked, let me come to you about the final makeup of the team. It's a very clear statement from Team India and Captain, Rohit and Dravid, who's back with the side. By the way, VVS Lakshman left for India today after Dravid had COVID and has joined the team now. So they've obviously placed their faith in Dinesh Karthik as a finisher. Even Rishabh Pant is having to sit out. And they've not chosen Ashwin today for today's match, Ayaz.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's interesting they've chosen Dinesh Karthik. I think that his finishing prowess is something that they acknowledge, and like with Virat, they would want somebody like him in the squad to the T20 World Cup, and therefore they need to play him in more international matches to make that decision final. And I think this is a good start because this is a high pressure game. You can play Dinesh Karthik or Kohli or any of these guys only against, Hong Kong or Afghanistan and say, look, they've done well. But that's not going to provide you answers. I think we are very close. In many ways, this is like a dress rehearsal for the Indian players to find out who's getting into the squad. So this is a tough call for Dinesh Karthik. I think if he gets cracking here, then he will take a giant step towards being in the squad for the T20 World Cup.
Yes, absolutely. I think these are big, important statements coming in. But Virat Kohli, once again, before I let all of our guests go, this is going to be a huge match for him, isn't it, Ayaz? We've talked about him, but we cannot talk about Virat Kohli enough. Huge, huge occasion for him. And everybody wants him to do well. There is a sense that somehow Virat displays that, that even the fans the public is against him, or some people have turned against him. But actually, everybody wants him to do well.
Absolutely, Shivani. I think, it's everybody wants him in the team. In fact, his lean trot has been quite inexplicable. Yes, this happens in sport and certainly in cricket, and we've got several examples, including the great Gavaskar and the great Tendulkar, who've been through, rough times. But this has been very protracted. It's been almost 3 years now, and it just defies any logic. So, I mean, he's now reached the cusp or threshold where he now needs to really redeem himself. That's the only word I can use, because everybody wants him to do well. Obviously, he's trying his hardest. If he does well, if the penny drops, then I think it might just see the return of Virat Kohli as we knew him. And that is something that all the Indian fans, not just the fans, the selectors, the Indian players, the captain and the coach, will be hoping it happens as soon as possible, and then he just gets completely enmeshed in their plans for the T20 World Cup.
Right, absolutely.